So again, good evening, SVSU students, colleagues, and friends. Welcome to our International Education Week keynote speech and faculty panel on SVSU in East Asia, highlights of international partnerships. My name is Alice Yang. I'm the director of the Office of International Programs in charge of international student and scholar services, international partnerships, and study abroad programs. I'm so glad to see that you are all interested in this topic, and me too. I started my new job at SVSU in July, 3 months ago, and I was so impressed by the international partnerships that SVSU has already created, and I'm eager to learn more about the global history of SVSU from the speakers today. Dr. Fanta Ong, CEO of NAPSA, Association of International Educators, stated recently, together we must build a present and future where mutual understanding, respect, shared humanity, connection, and global citizenship thrive. This is the purpose of our event today. The U.S. Department of State and the Department of Education created International Education Week, IEW, in 2001. IEW is celebrated annually in November in over 100 countries. The purpose of IEW is to promote the benefits of international education and exchange, and to encourage individuals and institutions to recognize and celebrate them. So tonight is my great honor to invite Dr. George Grant, SVSU President, to deliver the welcome remarks. Please join me to welcome Dr. Grant.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Good to see you all here this evening and to honor the man of honor here. So I just want to say that when you think about International Education Week or international studies, that as a university, you can see that we have a long history of commitment to that. That I can think about those experiences where you've read a book, maybe you've seen a documentary or you've seen something on television, and then one day you're in that place. You're standing there. You can touch it. You can feel it. You can smell it, and you go from the book to what's happening in the world. And I think that's one of the greatest experiences ever. I wish every student had the opportunity for an international experience. I think there's not as many things. I think too many people say too many things are life-changing, and I think there's not as many things life-changing as people say they are. But I think when you get to travel and see another part of the world, it is life-changing because the world gets smaller because of those experiences. So this week we are celebrating, and tonight we're celebrating, and we have this wonderful panel here to talk about their experiences, their connections, and our commitment to international study, our commitment to us going places, other parts of the world, and for people in other parts of the world coming here. And that's our commitment as a university. That's our commitment to higher education. And that's why we're here tonight. So thank you all for being here and welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Grant. I have to for your support for the international programs and partnerships. And we look forward to working with you to advance the global presence of SVSU in the coming years. And I'm grateful to get the opportunity to work with the Office of International Programs teams to maintain the current international partnerships and expand it through our new strategic plan. And I want to take the opportunity to thank the OIT team. Louis Chen, where's Louis? She's our international programs coordinator. Is she here? Thank you. Thank you for the years of hard work for international partnerships. And thank you for taking care of the decorations on the tables and the reception today. Thank you, Louis. Okay, Dr. Pat Shelley, our international student advisor, has worked diligently for almost 2 decades at SVSU, supporting international cardinal success. Thank you, Pat. And Di Shang is our inbound program coordinator. She successfully offered a summer program to Japanese high school students this summer and helped with international recruitment and partnership. Thank you, Dee. And Tina Demo is our office manager. She cannot make it today, but she has been doing a great, fantastic job to support the whole team. And then we have another side broad coordinator, Hal Spencer. She cannot make it today. Now I want to invite my boss, Dr. Brian Thomas, the Associate Provost, to introduce keynote speaker, Dr. Bob Yin. Dr. Thomas served as the former Director of Global Engagement in the past and made great contribution to our current partnerships. So on behalf of the Office of the International Program Team, I want to thank you for your contributions and your advice and support for our work. So now I will give time to please give Dr.
So it's really an honor to be able to introduce Dr. Yen tonight. I've known him for nearly 20 years, and he was quite literally the first person who I was supposed to meet with at SVSU during an 8:30 a.m. appointment that was part of my interview for a faculty position here. And of course, in order to leave a really great impression, what I did is fail to account for the snowstorm that took place, drive past the university in the Saginaw, and miss my appointment entirely as a first impression. Clearly, he recovered from that, and I got the job anyway. At the time, Dr. Yen was Vice President for Academic Affairs, a position he held, wrap your head around this, from 1978 until 2006. I would ask for some of you to stand up if you were alive or not alive during that time period, but it's also going to make me perhaps awkwardly reveal my own age. Originally joining SVSU as a faculty member in 1970, the impact he has had on our institution, even after transitioning to Ming Chuan University after his retirement from SVSU, cannot be overstated. Whether it was creating the College of Science, Engineering, and Technology, helping launch the Robert Gilbertson Fellows Program, or helping Ming Chuan University become the first U.S. accredited university in Asia, his legacy has been profound. This has certainly been the case with the international partnerships that you're going to hear about tonight. Since Dr. Yen came to the U.S. from Taiwan to attend graduate school at Michigan State, he has been a bridge between cultures. Bringing people together to learn and to learn from each other has been a fundamental value that he brought to SVSU. This has been manifest in the partnerships that you'll hear about, but also in his personal efforts supporting students and scholars as they've come to the United States, and in his support for students and faculty from Michigan as they've gone abroad. So I want to thank Dr. Alice Young and her staff for their work organizing this event. I want to thank our 3 presenters, Philip, Marcia, and Debbie, for their role in these partnerships, which are a testament to the cross-cultural impact that Dr. Yen has had. And of course, I would like to thank Dr. Yen for the lasting contributions that he has made to students both here and around the world. It's my pleasure to introduce Dr. Robert Yen. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, I want you to know that when I was a professor, I never stood aside and then lecture from the podium. I always held a microphone and walk around so I can see everybody. Okay? First of all, let me introduce myself. I have hearing problem. Okay? I think well, but hearing is major challenge. So later on, if you raise questions, I may not hear it. My associate, Judy, where's Judy? Judy is my ear, my eyes. Luckily, not my thought here. Not here. Okay. Now, when Alice came to me, he said, "Well, now we want you to keynote the first week, the week of international education." I said, "Alice, don't we learn a lot of things from this election year?" One of the things I learned was octogenarian doesn't make speech. Octogenarian doesn't get involved in debate. Being an octogenarian, I won't make a speech. I will tell you stories. And then there are many stories. Many of the stories you may be familiar with, but you may not know the details of the stories. I can tell you stories. I don't worry about people challenge me because nobody's around my age. So I guess whatever I need to say, okay? So first of all, I want to show you the SVSU partnership in East Asia. This is a world map prepared by Office International Program. It shows all the places SVSU has partnership schools. So this is the global wide of course about 100 partners. Okay, next. Now, my concentration tonight is going to be in East Asia because we cover so huge ground. I cannot do that. Especially, it's going to be a challenge with authoritarian that I can do the whole thing. So I will concentrate just on East Asia. Go ahead. East Asia primarily will be shown in those areas: Japan, Korea, China, Taiwan, and so on. Okay. Now you may have a copy of the Chronicle of University Partnership. About 1819 partners, most of them are here in this area here. Okay. Some are very active. Some are very active and long, more than 20 years, 30 years, and 40 years. I will talk about the one 40 years, the one over 30 years, and the one over 20 years. Okay. First of all, China. All right, you all know that China, we have so many university partners there. But the first one we have would be Shanghai Normal University. And in recent years, we have Tangchun and we have the others. But the one I'm going to highlight later on is the one in Guangzhou. It's Jinan University. Okay, I will concentrate that. And then we have Professor Marsha Shannon talk about her days, her years in Guangzhou. She has been there at least 10 times. Okay. Then Japan. As you know, Japan has four major islands. Our sister university in Japan happens to be located in smallest of the 4 islands. It is called Shikoku. Shikoku is the smallest of 4 major islands in Japan. Shikoku University was the first partner university of Saginaw Valley State College. Thank God. And then South Korea. We have so many sister universities in South Korea. Suwon University, Tsinghua University, and so on. Those are all in South Korea. Now you can see on the one-page list of Chronicle of university partners, South Korea. Then the next one, also one, Taiwan. Ladies and gentlemen, I was born and raised in Taiwan. When I was born, Taiwan was still under Japanese occupation. So I do know Taiwan so much. Sometimes I say, where I am I in Saginaw, Michigan, or am I in Taipei, Taiwan? So it's very interesting. This is Taiwan map. So many of you have been to Taiwan, so you know Taiwan is a beautiful island. Well, maybe congested, but it's beautiful. Okay. Now, I want to show you chronicle years of the first one, Chicago University. First of all, yeah, you go run this way, and then 1989, Japan Center for Michigan University. By the way, this is something that most of you may not be familiar with. State of Michigan and Shiga Prefecture are two sister states. In 1989, SVSU and Michigan State, we were appointed by Governor Blanchard to go to Japan to establish Japan Center for Michigan University. It's still there. Japan Center for Michigan University there. SVSU played a very important role in the establishment of this center. And then Kansai Gaidai. This is another outfit in Osaka, primarily dealing with students going abroad as they come to Japan for study. So Kansai Gaidai. And then, of course, Kyunghee University in South Korea. This university was established by the late professor in economics. Remember that? Anyway, in 1995, and very nice university, one of the top university in Korea. And then, of course, we have Minchua University, Sishin University, Shanghai Normal University, all in 2002. And then they're all 2003 and so on. So we just go there. My understanding and knowledge only up to about 2003, because after that, I retired. I retired in 2006. So that's why after that, university partnership established, I know a little bit, but I don't know them by percent. Okay, the most important university with SVSU started with Mrs. Yoko Masner. Yoko Masner came to see me in December 1979. She said, well, Bob, did you know Tokushima and Shikoku, Tokushima and Michigan, Tokushima and Saginaw are two sister states, two sister cities since 1963. I said, no, I didn't know. He said, well, Bob, I want you to consider having university relationship with Chicago University. Now, there's the lady, that I met back in 1980. She was the president of Chicago University. She was the one who came to SVSU twice. And I tell you, the first time and the second time. She treated me like her own child. So when I went to Japan, she would say, come to my place. And then she introduced her son, Ichiro-san. You took Dr. Yen out to drink. So one day, her son and I, we went out, we had a lot of drinks. We came back almost like too drunk. Yeah. And then she came out, she said, you don't do that, Dr. Yen. Actually, I did that to Ichiro. Okay. But anyway, she treated me like her own child. Very, very nice one. Now, let me tell you, the first contact came from her in 1979. And then 1981, all right, former President Jack Ryder and Mrs. Ryder went to Chicago to visit. Immediately, she sent one faculty, two students to Saginaw. Now, the story behind that. The faculty member came, had judo, black belt, okay? Before they left SVSU, Tanaka-san said, we are going to go to San Francisco. I said, okay. I said, you go to San Francisco, be careful, okay? Because San Francisco in evening will not be that safe. Oh, that's okay. I'm judo, black belt. I can do it. I said, okay, fine. Then that night, about 12:30, 1 o'clock, my phone rang from the hospital. Dr. Yen, do you know your friends here? I said, what? They got beaten up. Tanaka-san got beaten up. The two girls didn't get hurt. They lost everything. They lost cameras, they lost checks, they lost cash. So I said, what am I going to do? I called my brother in San Francisco. I said, quickly, I need help. So anyway, my brother went there and took care of them, and they went back. Then I told Jack Ryder, that's it. I think there will be no more because they will be so scared to come. What we didn't know was Mrs. Sato came immediately, came to SVSU and showed us that kind of thing was isolated incident. We are not going to stop the program. So we continue the program. So ladies and gentlemen, this lady started it, this lady continued it. And the story behind it is true because nobody can challenge me. All right, the next one, Chicago Women's Union. Let me assure you, the name change. You may not know SVSU changed name twice. 1975 changed from Saginaw College to Saginaw Valley State College. 1987 changed from Saginaw State College to Saginaw State University. I came from overseas Taiwan. I know the importance of name. So, in association with Chicago, I assure and I advise Mrs. Sato, you got to change the name. She said, why? We are proud to be a women's university. I said, well, it's nothing against women's university, but the trend is becoming co-educational. And if you drop the name from women's, then you become Chicago University. And Chicago University represents the island of Chicago. Just like here, we talk about Michigan, or University of Michigan. Okay, you talk about Michigan, you talk about Ohio, the Ohio State. So the state name is important. Mrs. Sato rejected it. Her son came to me and said, hey, Mom, don't do that. My mom's not happy. I said, not happy, I understand, but I have to change. So 1992, she accepted my sabbatical, that she changed the name. I'm so proud. This unit turned from Saginaw Women's University to a co-educational Chicago University, represent the island of Chicago. How can it be better than that? Okay. The next one. By the way, I want to show you. Mr. Sato is on the left. This gentleman, Jim Hamilton, some of you old timers remember. This is a person, his name is of Hamilton Gymnasium. Okay. Jim Hamilton was my staff. When I work on overseas, I said, Jim, why don't you go to Japan? I cannot go. He said, why not? Jim, the board and the chair and president gave me marching order to start engineering programs in 3 years. I said, if I didn't do that, I would not have a job. So I would concentrate working on engineering programs. I could not go. So Jim Hamilton went. Oh my God, he had a good time. He came back, he said, Bob, I want to go again. I said, no. Once is enough. Okay. So Jim Hamilton. Now, this is Mrs. Sato, who is one of our former professor, Basil Clark. Some of you remember Basil Clark. Okay? Basil Clark, by the way, just like other faculty members, spent years at Chicago. When he was there, Mrs. Sato almost wanted to keep him there. And Basil called me and said, Bob, I got a problem. I said, what problem? Mrs. Sato would not let me go. I said, why? She wanted to accept, adopt me as her child. I said, well. So I called Mrs. Sato with my very limited broken Japanese. I told her, so, we appreciate that, but I do need Professor Basil Clark back to English department. That's how I got him back. Okay, that's true too. All right, that's different. This is Chicago University today. Started 1925. Next year, 2025, 100 years anniversary. President Grant, do consider my suggestion. Their 100 years anniversary. President Grant, you should go there. Okay, it's November 2025. Okay, they celebrate 100 years anniversary. And also, Mrs. Ryan, you should go because you are going to have a very interesting kind of reception, Japanese reception. Okay, it's very grand, very beautiful. Okay, all right, let's go. This is the Chinese character is Shikoku University in Chinese character. And by the way, I talk about Japan Center for University. This Japan Center for I was so proud. Myself and Dean of Michigan State, we went there in 1989. We established it. This is very unique. This is the kind of consortium. All 15 public universities are members of that. Okay. This is a picture. By the way, I wasn't there because I had to take pictures. If you are a photographer, you just missed the opportunity to be inside here. There's no problem at all. Okay. That's right. This is Minchuan University. Okay. Now, let me talk about Jinan University first, and then talk about Minchuan, and then later on, President Chancellor Lee has a video prepared for President Grant. We will have that in 5 minutes video to end this problem. Okay. Now, first of all, Jinan University, the second longest partner, about 35 years, started 1989. When I went to Jinan University in 1987, some of you probably, I wouldn't want to say, oh, but probably remember what happened in 1987, October 19th. Anybody remember that? 1987, October 19th. It's an infamous Black Monday. Okay? Dow Jones Industrial dropped by 22%. Everybody panicked. I was in Guangzhou. Our vice president for business affairs called me and said, Bob, you got to come back. I said, come back for what? You are going to lose 6 faculty members. I said, what? We got a problem. Ladies and gentlemen, you may not know at that time, state support is 65% of operation. Nowadays, about 22%. So state of Michigan, Secretary State depends on state support. I had 6 faculty members ready to go out. My colleague said, you got to go back. You're going to lose 2 of them. I said, no, I'm not going to lose anything. I'm going back. So I went back, Jack Water called meeting, say, folks, you know that we got a crisis. I said, what crisis? Oh, we got a problem. I said, I know the problem. Wait, Bob, you got 6, you got to surrender 2. I said, Jack, I don't surrender. I want them. He said, oh, you want them? I said, I do. I do want them because without them, we are not going to have students in nursing, social work, and the others. So anyway, he said, oh, Bob, okay, you have your 6. If you don't have students, then you know what happened to you. Okay? I said, I take a chance. So that happened here, Jinan University. Okay? Jinan University has been very active for the last almost 30 years. Marshall Shannon, Sally Decker, and a whole lot of people, and also spent time visiting Jinan University. All right? So that's the second longest university partner. Now, the final one, Minchuan University. Minchuan University, by the way, Minchuan University has been a private university for 68 years. They started 1999 to become internationalized. Chancellor Lee has been working actively and then enthusiastically promote international contact. Minchuan University has about 100 years sister university in China, in South Korea, in Vietnam, in India, and so on. So a very, very widely accepted university. The president is now called the chancellor because he is the chancellor of Saginaw Valley. As you know, Minchuan University has a branch campus here, our SVSU campus, inside Gilbert Hall. And then he has another branch office in Japan and in Thailand in in Vietnam. So he elevated himself from President Lee to Chancellor Lee. Okay, so we call himself Lee. Now, he has prepared a 5-minute video after knowing that President Grant has accepted invitation to go to visit Incheon in March. Chancellor Lee prepared a 5-minute video as greetings to President Grant and also introducing all of you to the Incheon University. So let's show the film. Okay, 5 minutes, and after that, my stories tell you come to an end, and then the 3 panelists will follow that. Okay, thank you.
Hello, everyone. It is a pleasure to join you on this special occasion. I wanted to thank President Grant for the invitation and the opportunity to highlight the long-standing and meaningful partnership between Incheon University, MCU, and Signal Valley State University, SVSU. MCU is proud to be part of the Incheon Global Education System, recognized for its international presence and impact. We serve approximately 1,800 students across 5 campuses in Taiwan and the United States, with an additional 2,500 students enrolled at the overseas sites. Our partnership spans over 460 universities worldwide, including more than 80% of the China's top 25 institutions. Our expansion across Asia is an ongoing effort. In Thailand, we partner with the University of Thai Chamber of Commerce, welcoming nearly 300 degree-seeking students. Additionally, we have 3 joint ventures in China, currently enrolled more than 2,000 students. Our education centers in Thailand, Japan, and Korea, along with recruitment centers in Mongolia and Vietnam, reflect our commitment to fostering global connection. In Taiwan, NCU hosts over 2,000 degree-seeking and 2,500 non-degree international students, ranking us among the top 3 universities in Taiwan for international enrollment. Our partnership with SVSU, built on decades of collaboration, exemplifies the power of global engagement. NCU operates Incheon University, Michigan, NCUMI on SVSU's campus, offering 2 degree programs, such as teaching Chinese as a foreign language and new media and communication administration. We have also developed 2+2 and 1+1 international MBA programs, providing students with enriching cross-cultural learning experience. Since 2012, MCU has sent 8 students to SVSU as part of our Learning Away from Home program. During the summers, these students learn Mandarin language campus and engage with the local community. In return, SVSU sends its Robert Gibson Fellow to MCU, creating meaningful cultural exchanges. MCU has further connected SVSU with our sister university in Japan, Korea, and Thailand, facilitating valuable international collaboration. We also host summer study tours for several universities from Japan on SVSU campus. Over the years, more than 40 NCU faculty members have visited SVSU to enhance their English media instruction EMI skills and reach the academic experience on both sides. Our friendship with SVSU is more than a partnership. We reflects a deep bond built on trust, shared values, and mutual growth. We look forward to continuing this journey together, strengthening our collaboration and building a bright future. Thank you again for this opportunity, and I look forward to many more years of working together.
For touching to watch this video. Thank you, Dr. Yan, for your sharing. And the younger generation will continue on that speed and continue to maintain the current partnership and extend the partnership, increase the global presence of SVSU. But we also, so there is a photo album. Yeah. This is a photo album made by the Jinan University Nursing Department. It's for the 30th celebration of the international partnership. And if you're interested, you can look at it. So every nurse who visits SVSU, they're here and telling the story. So it's a great memory of their experience at SVSU. And all the nurses who came here, they made a video as a surprise gift to Dr. Yan. So we will watch this video now.
We all first and SVSU is on. We wish SVSU continue to grow and succeed. Dear Dr. Yan, how are you doing? I'm Weijie. I miss you. The past is still fresh in my mind. It's been 36 years since I helped to establish nursing exchange program between Silicon Valley State University and Jinan University in 1988. 31 nurses from Jinan University had the opportunity to further their studies at Silicon Valley State University. And more than 130 faculty and students from Silicon Valley have visited Jinan University. You have made great contributions to nursing in Guangdong province and even in China. On behalf of the faculty and nurses of Jinan University School of Nursing and its affiliated hospitals, I express our sincerest gratitude to you. We are very grateful for your care and support for the nurses of Jinan University. Your outstanding contributions to Jinan University's nursing, and especially your efforts in helping receive an honorary doctorate from Silicon Valley State University. Thank you for everything you have done for us. We will always remember it in our hearts. I wish you good health and all the best in everything you've done. I look forward to our further cooperation between Signal Valley and Jinan University and our next meeting in the next future. 严校长，我们都是您的学生，我们真的非常非常感谢你为暨南大学护理学科所做的杰出贡献，谢谢您。
So we do have two visiting scholars from Jinan University with us tonight. They are here to study and then to research for a whole year. Thank you. Thank you for helping coordinate this. They made this just past weekend. So international partnership will not happen without the engagement of faculty. We appreciate the contributions of the faculty panelists and the speakers today. Now I want to introduce each one of them and then invite them to give a brief presentation before the panel discussion. Dr. Debbie Lively is the professor and the department chair of the teacher education program at SVSU. She has a PhD in special education with emphasis in early childhood and administration. Before going to SVSU, Debbie spent 29 years in public education as a special educator and developed and coordinated an early intervention first 3 program. During this time, Debbie was the host for the Ready, Set, Grow TV show. Additionally, Debbie has been active in the Council for Exceptional Children at the national level, holding several board positions in the Division of Communication, Language, Deaf, and Hard of Hearing, DCD. Her current interests have taken her abroad since 2016, where she has coordinated the coursework for the SVSU Early Childhood Partnership Program with Changchun Normal University in China. Debbie. Professor Philip Hansen is a lecturer of art at SVSU, where he has been teaching for over a decade with a focus on foundational courses in art and design. He holds an MFA from the Ohio State University and a BFA in painting and drawing from Grand Valley State University. His educational background includes study abroad experiences at East China University of Science and Technology in Shanghai and Kingston University in London. Philip is deeply committed to international education, demonstrated through his extensive global engagement. His teaching philosophy emphasizes the importance of global perspectives, shaped by his extensive experience working in diverse cultural contexts. Thank you. Professor Marsha Shannon is a retired full-time faculty member in the nursing program and is still teaching simulations and nursing clinical learning experiences. She served as the Faculty Association president and the department chair of nursing in the 1990s. She was able to combine several interests: travel, adventure, people, and then psychiatric nursing into the major activities of her life. She loves viewing the world from Western and non-Western traditions and understanding psychiatric nursing from a variety of philosophical viewpoints. She traveled extensively, especially to the Eastern Asia countries, including Nepal, India, China. And you might be the nursing professor who traveled to visit the Jinan University most. And Professor Andrea Frederick could not make it today, but I will explain the reason at the end of the event tonight. I want to show you a precious photo. We want to thank Professor Shannon for stepping up to take on this task within a very short notice. Thank you.
It's my pleasure.
So now the three panelists will take turn to share a few slides, each of them, and then we have a couple of questions for them, and then we'll leave some time for the audience to ask them questions as well. So now, Dr. Lively, you may share first. Yeah.
Good evening. It's really a pleasure to be here. I'm so excited, and I'd like to tell you my experiences going to China and going overseas as a person that was afraid to get on an airplane. It took a lot to get me over there, but I made it, and I've enjoyed every single bit of it, and I learned so much from my friends in China and from my friends in Argentina and my friends in India and my friends in Italy. And I want to thank Saginaw Valley for all these wonderful opportunities, particularly Brian. Brian kind of gave me that little push that I needed to get moving, and I'm forever thankful. And Louise, I don't know where it happened. Louise, I couldn't do any of this without Louise. I mean, she is such a hard worker and such an asset to Saginaw Valley. I'm so excited that I've gotten to know Louise through all of this partnership. But anyway, so Saginaw Valley State University in Changchun. Y'all know where Changchun is. Like, China's like a chicken, right? Like that. Now, I didn't know this. I learned this from my Chinese friends because I'm thinking I'm going to fail my geography because this is like different. But anyway, the head of the rooster is not a chicken, it's a rooster. But the head of the rooster is where Changchun is. And my mom used to say to me when I was little, I didn't behave, I was going to go to Siberia. Well, I went up to Harbin, which is really in the north. That's like almost Siberia. I almost made that. So anyway, okay, so in Changchun, it is the capital city of the Jillian province. And in this, everything is so big in China. I mean, the streets are big, the buildings are big, everything is big. The people aren't big, but everything else is big. And when you think of that, 61 undergraduate majors covering 5 disciplines, Chinese language and culture and all those things, and their students in early childhood. Every year, they get 600 students in their early childhood program. We could not handle 600 students here at Saginaw Valley every year in early childhood. I mean, it would just be, we'd have to take over the university, little bitties. But anyway, every year we get 100 new students that come into our program. It is a collaboration between Saginaw Valley Early Childhood Program and Changchun Early Childhood Program. They have about 18,000 students, and it was founded in 1906. So it's a very old, it's in an industrial part of the town, but they have built a new campus. We haven't been able to use that yet, but they are slowly, gradually moving to this new campus. So here are the students, and they're just lovely. I can't even just share how lovely the students are. They're so fun. They're so willing to work. They're excited. In fact, I was hoping some of them would be here today to have class, so they can't miss class. So I don't know if they'll be coming late or not, but we have 6 students here right now. 3 of them will be here on a 1+1, and 3 students will be here on a 2+2. So it was fun to be able to teach those students and then now have them come over here to the US. This is the timeline, and I liked how Dr. Young did his, where it kind of flashed out. Yeah, but mine isn't that exciting. It's just that in May of 2016, I had the wonderful opportunity to go to Taiyuan, which was where we started, where Brian initially had helped develop this partnership. And I took 2 students with me, and we planned the curriculum that we would be using. And we went over and we taught there for a month. And it was in the Shaanxi province. Well, then after that, then we started the relationship with Changchun and we went over to visit. And I gave lectures on the differences between kindergarten. Because in China, their kindergarten is the same as our preschool. But they call it kindergarten, we call it preschool. And so I had taken lots of pictures of what our kindergarten looked like in comparison to their kindergarten preschool. And so that we had a common language, we knew what we were talking about. And then we went over again in the fall where we met our first cohort of students. And then from May to June in 2019, we were teaching and everything was going well. And then September, we visited again. We welcomed a new cohort. Some classes were being taught. We went over to see the teaching and then COVID hit. And it was like, we were just really getting it going. Then COVID hit. So we had to think on the spot, how are we going to offer these courses? Because even in Saginaw Valley, we weren't really used to an online format. And now how are we going to do this internationally? Well, we did. And there were several faculty here at Saginaw Valley that helped develop each course. And we developed and put them in modules and we used Canvas and we did lectures with Echo and we really tried to provide quality, the best that we could program in an online format. We met with the faculty from Changchun. We met with the students a couple times in a synchronous format. Very difficult because there's a 12-hour time difference. But we just really tried to make it be the best that we could in a situation that was very difficult. Then COVID got over, so then we went back and did a 2-week lecture. We didn't go completely to in-person. I went back and did 5 classes for 2 weeks. I was teaching, and that was a lot, but it was really worth it to get back into the groove of teaching in person. And then went back in the fall. We saw the new cohort come in, and then we started actually back in person. One of our adjunct faculty went over there and taught, loved it. And now they want that spot every time to teach the 3 courses they're teaching. And we hire people to go over to teach when our faculty are not able to go over. But so we're up and running, all in-person classes. There have been strengths, the students, the exchange, the culture, the dumplings. If you've not ever had a real Chinese dumpling, you need to try one. They are so good. We've really been able to enhance our teaching because we're teaching individuals who English isn't their first language. So that's been really, we have to do a lot of creative and interactive types of activities. The challenges have been the language barriers, but we're getting better. We have all of our slides, everything we do is translated into Chinese. We also have translators available, but we teach in English when we're there in person. We've had trouble with technology, phones, students wanting to use their phones a lot, but we've been working on that too. And really, it's just talking too fast. We have to think of our pace, and like I say, we have to think of activities that can strengthen the language with the language barriers that we have. We're back to normal. There's the students, and we have boys in our early childhood program over there. So that's really wonderful too, because young children need some of those role models. We have the students come here. We just try to have the best experiences that we can, and I'm just very grateful for that opportunity. Moving forward, we want to give more opportunity to faculty and to students. We really want to give more opportunity to students. Now that we're actually in person and we're revving up again, I think that this will happen. The big thing for me is to bring special education into China. And I have done a presentation, a national presentation over there supporting services for children with disabilities. And the idea that the students that come over here get so much field here. In China, They don't get the field experiences that our students get here in the education program. And so that is a rich opportunity for the students that come over here from China, is that we place them in schools, in gen ed classes and in special ed classes. So it's working. We're excited and we hope it continues for a long time. So, and then if you have any questions after, I'd be happy to answer. Did I take my short time? Yeah, that's it.
Okay, first, I want to just get a sense of who's in the audience. So who here, please raise your hand if you have never been abroad or never studied abroad. Okay, that's the vast minority of people in. And so what I hope is for everybody who is here tonight, spread the word. Try to get your colleagues, your friends, your classmates to seriously consider studying abroad here at SVSU. Our faculty and staff in the Office of International Programs, they're incredible. And they do all they can to support our students. So I want to begin with food. And I'll just, you know, when I look at international study, there's a few things that really speak to me. One is courage. Everybody who's studied abroad has to have had some courage because it's an unknown thing and you're dependent upon other people. You truly are. And for a lot of American students, especially, that's a challenge. We're not used to this idea of having great independence. But also, I think that it's wildly transformative. Your viewpoints will change over time in a radical way. And then lastly, I think that it's most important because international study, international relations lead to continued world peace. I truly believe that. So anyway, I'll tell you a little bit about myself. And this wasn't from the moment that I'm going to recount, but it is a memory. So I first went to Asia in 1996. I grew up in a sort of hillbilly neighborhood, trailer park, divorced parents, sort of rough start. And my international travel sort of saved me. They gave me great hope. And I remember telling my dad, I'm going to go to China. And he's like, no way. You are not going to China. Communist China, bad. You know, and I had to fight with him, and he really didn't have a choice in the end. I ended up going. When we arrived at East China University of Science and Technology, we went into this room blurry-eyed, and we saw something about 30 times as large as this. Just the most welcoming, amazing dinner that I've ever seen in my life. And I'd never been treated that way. I had never experienced the depth of hospitality and greeting and love anywhere in my life before. And it was just absolutely astounding. So that's me on the left there. Something that President Grant mentioned about the text coming alive, this actually happened to me. So on this trip, a group of, it was from in the philosophy department, we had a lecture on the Great Wall of China about Sun Tzu's Art of War. And I had this flash, this self-conscious flash of, I can't believe this, I've arrived. Right, here I am having this in-depth experience about this text, and it's all coming to life for me. Transformative, awesome. So we had many experiences and stories, and I'll share just a couple more. But that's really what most of us want when we travel abroad.
when we come either to the US or abroad, we want to have great experiences and stories to build our life's adventure upon. So here's a quick story. We're in this little town in China, and my friend is a photographer. She takes a photograph of a little girl, and this is presumably her mother or grandmother, I don't know. Was just mentioning how this girl was beautiful, and of course there's no language no language communication at all. This woman took 8 college students, invited us all into her home. We sat down and had tea with her. It was absolutely astounding. So hospitality experiences transformed my view of the world, and it was super positive. And so when I learned that at SVSU, I could play that role of being a person of hospitality and welcome, I embraced it. And so, we first had groups come from Shenyang Aerospace in our department. And this is at my home, actually. We had everybody come over to my home for dinner, and we did a fish fry. I actually took the dean of the department's fishing for walleye in Saginaw Bay. So we did some really cool things. But if you notice in the picture here, it doesn't stop with just what happens here at the university. My family is in this picture. My son who's here is down there. Professor Johnson's children are here, and SVSU students are also here. Okay, so a couple of other stories. There's a guy here, his name's Demi, and this is one of the most amazing things that ever happened. So this is at Sleeping Bear. I don't know who's been to Sleeping Bear, right? So Demi, this student, we're about to leave Sleeping Bear, and he's like, I want to go down to the bottom. We're about to leave, right? So I'm like, all right, this is a once in a lifetime experience for this guy. Sure, we'll let him go. And as he runs down the hill, and we're having this debate of, what are we going to do? Because somebody's going to have to wait here for like 2 hours for him to climb up this hill again. Because if you've ever done it, it's not an easy task. I watched this guy climb the entire hill in 12 minutes. Full bore going up the hill. It was the most astounding thing ever. So that's one of his life adventures. I don't know how he was able to do it. Here's another story. So I took students, again, from Shenyang Aerospace on canoeing on the Rifle River. I made sure to tell them, hey, don't put anything in the canoe that you don't want to be on the bottom of the river. And then we did some nice things. We did some drawing along the way. It was supposed to be a 3-hour tour. They dropped us off at the 5-hour place. Little surprise. But along the way, I always travel in the back when I need to run the river because it's harder to go upstream. I hear a splash up ahead, and one of the students had stood up because they thought they saw a snake and ran to the back of the canoe. Of course, this flips everything over. And I was talking to the students on the shore, and she had lost over $1,000, 2 cell phones, her ID and passport, all in the bottom of the river. So I spent about 45 minutes diving and found almost everything that she had lost, including her passport and her cash and all that sort of stuff. But the most remarkable thing was she was crying at the end, and she was crying because I wasn't angry, because I was just helping her. And that made me feel great. It made me feel like I was responding in kind to the great hospitality that was given to me as a student. So that's part of that person's life story. A couple of other quick things. So I was able to go to Shenyang Aerospace University to teach for about 5 weeks while I was in Shenyang. It was a great experience. Just everyone there was so hospitable and welcoming. One day I saw a man wearing this beautiful shirt on campus, he was a graduate student, and it was a traditional Chinese shirt. And I told him, that's pretty cool. I'm a fat guy, I can't find anything that will fit me. 10 minutes later, I'm on the 3rd floor of the building, and the fashion design professor is measuring me and my son. And 2 days later, we both had completely full outfits, traditional Chinese outfits. The hospitality is off the record, or off the hook, just amazing. this is an image of my son with a student, Linda, who came here, and we met him there as well. Really good friends. A couple of other quick images. I brought the Tokushima High School students to Comerica Park, where they got to see their hero, Shohei Ohtani, play baseball. Just fun experiences. And then this last year, I went over to, this year, from April until August, I was at Shikoku Daigaku in Japan, and I brought my daughter Esme with me. So this is Esme on the left with Meng, a student from Shenyang Aerospace. And there she is on the right, waiting for the school bus going to her Japanese middle school. So, and with that, she's also able to make lasting friends. This is Akira, next to my daughter Esme here. Akira was one of the last visiting faculty's daughter, Taniguchi Sensei's daughter. But able to make really strong connections. And I'll just leave you with my favorite image from the entire trip. This is in downtown Tokushima. It's my daughter riding away from me on a bicycle. But you can see her down at the bottom. But there it is. So that's my presentation. So I hope that you enjoyed it. If you have any questions about any of this, please feel free to ask me. I am so delighted that people are here to hear about these programs, and I encourage everyone who hasn't traveled abroad to do it, and those of you that have, do it again.
Okay, so you heard I'm a fill-in for Andrea. And I kind of took a different stance. This isn't about me, this isn't about universities, this is about what we've learned. And we've learned so many things. There's no way I can tell you everything, but I'll try. These are just some pictures, and I'm sure that you folks recognize a lot of them that are from Jinan University. And Dr. Yen's there with Amy. So what have the students and faculty learned from their first affiliated hospital of Jinan University? So many things. And I can't possibly do it all tonight, but I will try. We learned about nursing and healthcare. We learned about making choices. In China, a lot of times choices are made by an elder or one of the family people. One of the choices we had to learn to live with is, and I'm going to use a lot of quotes tonight from patients and from students. The patient said, you get cancer, you die in a few months. Why fight it and leave your family without anything? And the students found that a hard decision to accept. But then they said they learned how important it is to support patients and families in their decisions, regardless of what we think. And that's a lesson they can take home with them. Then we learned about alternative and complementary medicine, and those are some pictures that you see. They have Western medicine options also, but they have more options than we actually have with medicine. And some of them work very, very well. We became more open to other types of treatments and that patients believe in. The students said that they appreciated the way health and illness are not viewed separately, but as a continuum that a person has some control over. It's hard not to notice how many people are walking, visiting neighbors after dinner, or how pregnant women cook soup with many bones in them to get the calcium instead of just popping a pill. Many students said they changed their ideas about what health is and how we obtain health. Nursing schools are a bit different too. In China, many students don't choose nursing as a profession, but their test scores from the test that they take in high school indicate that they're going to be a nurse. And many times they're even told where they're going to study. Our students found that incredulous, saying this is so hard. How could anybody do it if they don't really love it? They also have forced retirement there for nurses, actually for workers. But the thing I liked was that as people age, they don't make them work the night shift anymore. I think the US should do that also. We also learned more about health promotion. We talked with everybody about the mind-body connection and how they took responsibility for their health. We talked about qi, which is the vital force that moderates this balance. And we learned a lot about qi. In fact, many of us get up in the morning because in the morning we could see people doing Tai Chi, and they were very welcoming and let us join them in doing their Tai Chi with them. One student related this experience. A patient came into the acupuncture clinic for sore knees. The doctor took 3 pulses and looked at the tongue, but never even looked at the knee before prescribing the treatment. The student could not understand this and thought it was weird, until the patient returned later that week and said how much better they felt. The student said that she learned to stay open to other ways of care, and also said that she wanted to learn more about TCM, traditional Chinese medicine, and acupuncture, so she could advocate for patients that might use this treatment at home. They're just some more pictures. The one on the upper left is hospice. I think I skipped something. Anyway, okay, we started going to Guangzhou. When we started, we just gave lectures. They always had a big seminar, and they invited people from all over, and we would give lectures. And these are some topics that I did, but many other faculty went over and did things too. But very quickly, we decided that wasn't enough. And so we started doing more collaborative things. And we started doing collaborations that took us around the world. And again, these are just some of the things that we did. One is we did things in Prague, Vienna, Singapore, Hong Kong, Malaysia. We went to a lot of different places to present with our partners at Jinan University. This year, I think it was 2019, Covenant, my Michigan, in Midland, and Jinan University participated in a joint research project where research was done in China and in the United States. This project was selected for publication in the Journal of Public Safety. So we're doing more all the time. And also, we're still trying to look at getting the DMP program over into China. And our 2 scholars that are here are going to start taking the theory program and the DMP program while they're here, so that we can at least get it started that way. Self-confidence changed with students too. They said, SVSU prepared us. And here are some quotes. We were far more prepared to interact with people of a different culture than we thought. But all of the simulations, readings, and class discussions could never prepare us like actually experiencing another culture. I learned so much more. Thank you, SVSU and Jinan. They also learned that people are not all that different. They said that people are very much like us. You know, everybody wants to laugh. Everybody wants to have their family. They want to love. They want to have the same things that we want to have. So they decided that we're more alike than different. We all want to laugh, be fed, be with family, and be safe. We really aren't that different. I now know that I can approach any person or patient with more comfort. I am sure I will build a more successful therapeutic relationship because of this experience. They also said they became less guarded and more open. In the beginning, the students move around in hordes, and it takes a while to convince them that nobody's going to approach you when there's 9 of you walking around together. So they started doing small group things so that they could meet the local people. And they always find it's not as scary as they thought it was going to be. They even found that they could speak when they didn't know the language. One student tells the story of her alarm clock broke. And we needed an alarm clock because we had to, we did things at certain times. And she said she didn't know what to do, but she went into a store and pointed to her watch and went ding, 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 ding. And she said the storekeeper took her right to the alarm clocks, and she said they both had a good laugh over that. So she said, I learned that nonverbal communication actually works. Here are some more quotes from students. I will feel more open from the beginning with someone from a different culture, whether I'm in the hospital, at home, or on another trip. Another quote. Being more open to different ways of life will make me a better nurse. Another quote. This girl from the thumb was never exposed to anyone different before. Now I don't find it scary to meet more people, and I can relate to other people with curiosity instead of avoidance. I think that's real learning. We also learn more about Chinese culture. Home and family units. We were invited to many homes to meet families and share wonderful meals. And these are some of them. And again, you guys will recognize these folks. We learned to make jiaozi the right way, and I still make it all the time, and tea the right way, and so many other tasty foods. We also learn more about celebrations. I don't think anybody celebrates like the Chinese do, at least that I experienced. I was lucky enough to be there for the 100th anniversary of Jinan University. And it was just absolutely phenomenal. I've already told several people, Jackie Chan even flew in on some kind of boots, you know, that didn't even exist. And he flew in into this big auditorium and landed. And anytime we're there, we're treated well. And also hospitality. The Chinese are great hosts. I learned a lot from them because when in the beginning, when the scholars came to SVSU, I spent some time with them, but not very much. But then when I went to China and saw how they treated us, they really taught me a lot because they made sure that we had everything we needed and more. And if I just mentioned something, it was done. So I had to be careful about what I said sometimes. So I have become a better host in the United States because of the great hosts that they are in China. These are some pictures. I have tons and tons and tons more stuff, but I hope you get the idea that study abroad is a real learning experience, not just for the students, but for the faculty also. I think it does change your life in many ways, and most of it is positive. Like the student that said now she could approach people and talk to them instead of avoid them. One other story, one of the students went and they had a little iPod, I forget what they used to call them, the old ones. And she wanted a new one because a new color came out. She thought it'd be nice to have a new color. And after we left China and we were on the plane, she says, I don't think I'm going to need a new iPod. And I asked her why. And she said, because we have so much, and I'm worried about what color my iPod is when other people are worried about, you know, healthcare or how their family is going to be cared for. And it's really changed my perspective on life. So I just think there are so many wonderful lessons to learn. Again, just some more pictures of things that we've done when we've been there. And I hope that we have 30 more years because it's been a wonderful opportunity with Jinan University. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you much. Now I want to invite the three panelists back. Due to the program, so I will just ask one question, and I do want to leave some time for the audience to interact as well. But one thing I want to share is that after I arrived, just maybe a few days, I don't remember the arrival date of our two Jinan business scholars. So Louis invited me to go to the airport to pick them up. And there I was so shocked. You know, I saw 10 nursing professors from SVSU waiting at the airport, occupy the whole space at the entrance. I'm so shocked. That's how they exchange the hospitality. So just one question for you. What advice would you like to give to new faculty members who never taught abroad or research abroad? And another question, SVSU is working on a new strategic plan. So what suggestions do you have for the future of the university partnership and global outreach? Maybe just a couple of minutes. Can you share your? Yeah.
Yes, I'm gonna go
I thought
first.
she said she'd go first. She might love to go first.
Okay, so what, could you repeat your question?
you faculty members that they never taught abroad, research abroad, but they're interested in this, what advice do you want to give to them?
I would just say be open-minded and be joyful about the opportunities that you're going to have. And really, the hospitality is pretty incredible. I always felt welcomed, and I just think, you know, be open-minded and joyful, and don't overpack. You don't need a lot of stuff. You know, like you were talking about the iPod or iPad thing or whatever. Yeah, we have so much stuff that we don't really need, and yeah, so I guess that's what I would say. I would say prepare. Really, when we take students abroad, I probably start at least 10 months in advance with the students, talking about things like do's and taboos, and what the culture is like, and what how they might interact. And I also think you should look at it as not a one-way street. In the beginning, I think we were going over to Gina, and like I said, we would present, and it was more of a one-way street. Now, wherever I go, I've taken students like Vietnam and Indonesia and Nepal and all over them. And before I go, I contact a university and start making contacts with other universities and say, we would like to come and this is what we would like to learn. What would you like to learn from us? And 9 times out of 10 in nursing, they'll say, we don't know a lot about evidence-based practice. And so I would say, well, what kind of project, or what are you worried about in the hospital right now that you'd like to know more about? And they would tell me, and so I would have our students research that for them, a topic that they picked, not one that we thought they should know. And then we would always do a presentation when we got there on topics that they wanted. And so making it a two-way street makes it a much nicer experience for everybody, I think. And yeah, enjoy it. It's fun.
So the first thing I would say for any faculty that were interested in working abroad would be to break the plane at the door of the Office of International Programs. Like actually go there and talk to the people who are there, who are the experts, because they're really good at what they do, and they will help you on every level to do so. So that would be my first advice to any faculty who want to study abroad. The other thing, when it comes to more of an institutional vision, your question about that, I think the same goes for our students. So I would love it if our university took a more aggressive posture in promoting international programs for outbound students from SVSU. The number of students that I've had who have studied abroad is very low. And I think we should do all we can to help them do that, including things like, as faculty, bringing students to the Office of International Programs and breaking the plane up the door so that they can see what's there to support them. I also think that when it comes to, like, I think students have a very realistic, but also incomplete view of the cost of programs. So one way that I always thought about it was that it's not a like dollar to experience. It's not like a 1 day equals so many dollars. And I think sometimes students think this. The truth is that if you're studying abroad, especially for the first or second time in a very different culture, each day, each moment is more than a regular day. Like anybody who's done this knows this, right? You spend a day in Beijing as an American, and it feels like you were there for 3 or 4 days. So the value is tremendous, and I think that sometimes we get caught in the weeds of those other concerns.
I was just gonna say that a lot of the study abroad experiences, because I've taken students to Italy too, and India and Argentina, and I think that I like if we as faculty can push students to really go to diverse cultures, because they tend to wanna go like to Australia, well, they speak English in Australia. or London, they speak English, but to go to really encourage, as a faculty member, encourage where it's a really different culture so that they can experience it. I think that's really important.
Thank you so much for your reflections, recommendations. Yeah, I hope this is a whole night event because of limited time. I do want to open it up to the audience. Maybe just, 1, 2, 3, no more than 3 questions because of the time. Anyone? Questions, reflections? It's your opportunity to ask. Okay, Kira.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is Ge Guo, and you can also call me Kira. I am the 34th visiting scholar from Jinan University. Actually, I'm not asking a question. I just want to express my gratitude. Before I came, whenever I met the former scholars, they always told me how wonderful heritage. After arriving, I truly understood. Louis, Director Alice, Professor Sally, Masha, and many other teachers have gone above and beyond to meet our needs. Also, I don't know how to express my gratitude. All I can say is over and over, you are warmly welcome to Jinan, China, to experience our hospitality. And just like shown in the video, I also have so many colleagues who very eager to meet our friends from SVSU. And at the same time, I know this is a collaborative program. So beyond the thinking scholars learn here, we also want to offer SVSU the resources we have. And I believe this is a perfect time. We can explore more ways to collaborate, including the nursing students in our university. We have undergraduate, postgraduate, and I sincerely hope we will have next 36 years together. And lastly, please allow me to express my gratitude to President Yan. Without you, this program would not have started. Thank you for everything you have made possible.
Question, student? For the professor?
Can I just add, when you talk about what needs to go into the planning, I hope you keep the scholarship programs. Because I think the scholarship, like the presidential scholarships and things for study abroad, really are helpful for students that would never have the opportunity to go if they didn't have the money. So I hope those things are continued and maybe even expanded.
That's our hope too.
Okay.
Any other questions? Okay. Okay.
Yeah. My name is Lu Yingzi, and you can call me Lindsay too. And I want to say that I'm from the Changchun Normal University, and our school have the partnership with the SVSU. And when Debbie come to China, they teach me the lesson, and I very love she because I love she the ways to teach, and I experience the American teach way in early childhood education, and I think it's very different from China. So I learned a lot from Debbie, and I want to appreciate my thank you to Debbie and thank you to China. Thank you.
Business scholar and then students from China. So lastly, I have one picture I want to show you. So this one is so precious. The reason why Professor Andrea Battery couldn't make it because she had a terrible car accident on Friday night. And then we were informed on Saturday morning that she had a foot surgery. So the two business scholars from Jinan, Kira and Shirley and I, we visited her yesterday afternoon. And then they presented her with red envelope as a gift. That's a traditional Chinese culture. So Andrea holding this two red envelopes. Before we left the patient room, she said to me firmly, because I was the one who was taking the photo. She said, please share this photo with the participants. We need to continue this international partnership. So I was so touched. She was in the patient bed and still remembering our event tonight and encouraging, inspiring all of us to continue this journey, continue the international partnership, continue our friendship with many partner institutions around the world, and promote world peace, as what Philip said just now. So please give Professor Andrea Frederick a big round of applause. Thank you. This is the end of our event tonight. We'll definitely continue the legacy of Dr. Yan. Thank you, the contribution to Dr. Brian Thomas and all the faculty's engagement. So we'll work together to extend the global presence of the university. So today is the first event of International Education Week, and we have a series of events every day. So tomorrow, Pat has been working hard with our students. It's the International Food Fest at 11 o'clock to 1 p.m. at Marketplace. And hope you will go there to enjoy, to taste the delicious food. And we have a lot of excellent cook here. They cook so hard this couple of days. And then Wednesday, 4 o'clock, we have a study abroad story slam event. And then Friday, we have global cultures and arts events in Curtis for lunch. So you're welcome to participate and continue the conversation. And now we have prepared delicious refreshment for you. So please enjoy this refreshment and then continue the conversation. Thank you very much for your participation.